Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is a Panzer IIIJ. It's a Tier 4 German medium tank. It's located on the south spawn of Mountain Pass, and this one is under the command of Bounce-A-Lot. Now you might remember Bounce-A-Lot is the player who tends to zoom in and out whilst he's driving his tank. Yes, I think we'll take control of his key now, so we are watching it without having to suffer seasickness from all the movement that he makes whilst he's driving along. Well, the Panzer IIIJ was one of the later models of the Panzer Mark III. It's got a 5cm gun, 70 alpha, and as you can see there, it will penetrate 67mm of armour. And he's looking for a quick target. He's gone straight to that corner, and well, he didn't penetrate the Covenanter. Now there's one of these tanks at the Tank Museum at Bovington, and it's an up-armoured tank. It's got more armour, applique armour, around the driver's port, the machine gun's port, and also on the gun mantlet. So the Germans have actually were well used to the Panzer Mark IIIJ, and they've actually put some improvements on it. They turned it from the tank it was at the start of the war, which wasn't that great, into something that was actually quite decent. In fact, the problem really was that the Germans over-engineered some of their tanks, and they were trying to make bigger and heavier tanks all over. And of course that wasn't the way to go, because what the Europeans did, what the Allies did, was actually have mass-produced tanks. And that way, even if one got knocked out, you would actually have another tank you could jump into straight away. What the Germans wanted was quality rather than quantity. And that's something that we've been accused of on this channel. We manufacture a huge number of videos, but, well, people say that the quality of the videos isn't that great. But of course we say that at least if there's a huge number of videos, everybody has a chance to get their video on the on the YouTube channel. And of course basically that's what the Allies did. They had the T-34, they had the Sherman tank, so they did have mass-produced tanks which were quite effective. And it didn't matter if one or two or three of them got knocked out, you could still fight with a new tank straight away. The crews could get out of the damaged tank and jump into a new one. And of course that wasn't so easy for the Germans during the Second World War, because they'd over-manufactured on tanks like the Tiger, and therefore these were complicated pieces of machinery which constantly broke down, and that caused problems. Well, what we can see here at the moment is that Bounce-A-Lot has taken up a very defensive position back at the cap. He's even got a birch gun ahead of him, and just coming up the pass is a Panzer B2. Now that's the German version of the Char B1 tank with a slightly modified hull, and it's a very tough nut to crack, that tank. Now Bounce-A-Lot hasn't changed his armour or his shell loadout. He's actually still got the standard AP, and I don't think he's got enough pen to get through the front of a Panzer B2, but he certainly might have enough to get through the side of it. Now they're losing quite badly in this game so far. They're 3 tanks down on the enemy, and I think Bounce-A-Lot realised early on that this was going to be a losing battle, and so he felt, well, he needed to do something about it. Well, the birch gun had fired at the Panzer B2, and now he's taking fire from that heavy, and there we go, he's gone. At the moment, Bounce-A-Lot is remaining hidden from the enemy. Now he's fired, so now they know he's here, and he's firing APCR. And he's getting pens, and he's set the Panzer B2 on fire. He's firing round after round, and he's bounced around coming back from the Panzer B2. And yeah, the Panzer B2 did get a couple of rounds into him, but you can see he was in a bit of a hull down position there. And I didn't actually know that there was a hull down position there, but there is a slight depression in the land, and he was using that and the wreck of the birch gun directly in front of him to give him a bit of protection. But I think you can see something now. He's the last one alive on his team. And there are still 6 enemy out there. 6. Now, thankfully, they don't have any heavies anymore. The Panzer B2 was their last heavy. So he's up against 2 M3 Lees, a SAV M43, a 14 TP, that's the 14-ton Polish tank, and 2 Arty, an AMX 105 AM, which is the tier 4 version of the French Arty, and a Sturmpanzer II. Now, when last seen, 2 of those tanks, the M3 Lee and the SAV, were coming up the ice road. Okay, comes the 14 TP, fires around in straight away. He's in a nice hold down position here. He's set the 14 TP alight. And he's going to go next shot. Yep, gone. The M3 Lee is capping. But now he's realised too late there's somebody behind him. And he's been tracked. And he's receiving fire. He's gone. So it's now 1 against 4. Well, Bounce-A-Lot's out of this position and he's bouncing again. So I'm going to take control of the camera to stop you getting seasickness. And, oh, he's found an M3 Lee coming up on the cap. But he's going to go after this guy and try and take him out. Yep, got him. Now it's 1 versus 3. In fact, actually, there's only 1 tank destroyer left on the enemy team. It's a SAV M43. And that has got fairly good frontal armour. And if it's got the top gun, it's a 105mm gun, which is pretty deadly. But it looks to me like he's going to go back to his former position. The enemy would know that he actually went down to take out that M3 Lee, so they probably won't think that he's up on top of the hill again. Mind you, if they've got 6th sense, they'll know that the moment they appear at the cap. Now, I'd expect the enemy Arty to actually appear as well. Of course, I'm not sure that they'll all appear at the same time. The Sturmpanzer II, based on the Panzer Mark II, is actually quite a slow tank. Well, slow SPG. And so he may not have the speed to keep up with the AMX 105 AM, which is quite a fast little Arty, and the SAV M43, which is quite a decent Swedish tank destroyer. He's just waiting for them to turn up, and he's going to try and ambush them. From the top of this hill, as I say, he can get a hold down position whereby basically his turret's poking over the edge of that ridgeline at the top of the hill, but the enemy can't really see his body until they get close. And of course, they're not going to want to come up that hill if they realise that they're going to get hit. But the other thing is that Bounce-A-Lot's out of APCR. He's got no APCR shells left at all, so he might have trouble with that SAV M43 unless the guy turns his back to him, in which case he should be able to penetrate him fairly easily. And here comes the SAV M43, and he's going over to that corner, and well, Bounce-A-Lot's just blasting rounds into him. He managed to sneak up, and now he's gone for, yep, that's it, he's out of the game. And Bounce-A-Lot is bouncing again, so we take control of the camera. Oh, he's sliding round that corner on one set of tracks. And now he's looking for the enemy. Oh, he's found one of them. It's the AMX 105 AM, and he's halfway up that hill already. And he daren't go over the edge unless he'll get shot. Oh, and the AMX 105 AM fluffed it up. And he's paid for it by getting killed. And that's a Top Gun. But there's still 1 enemy tank out there, the Sturmpanzer II. And he's capping. Well, Bounce-A-Lot, you're going to have to go back and deal with that Sturmpanzer II, because by the time you get to the enemy cap, he's going to kill you. He's going to cap out. So, back you go. There's not enough time for him to do a circuit and come in from the other direction. He has to come in from this direction. So the Sturmpanzer knows that he's going to appear from here. But he stopped capping. Now, why is that? Did he go up the hill? Is he still in the cap area? No, he's not. Now, has he lured Bounce-A-Lot back to the cap to kill him? To ambush him? No, he has gone up the hill. And that's terrific, because he's got the rear of this Sturmpanzer, and he can now just go to town on him. And there's no way he can turn in time. And that wins the game with a Pascucci's medal. And I think that was the Kolobanovs as well. 6-1, and he won it. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats and see exactly what he did. It's an ace tanker for Bounce-A-Lot in the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausf J. He managed to get a Bruiser medal and a Fire for Effect out of the minor medals. But out of the epic ones and the battle hero medals, yes, he got the one that everyone would like to get, the Kolobanov. He stood alone against 6 enemy tanks and killed them all, as well as getting 2 enemy Artys to get a Pascucci's, the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle, and a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He ended up with 7, but of course, because this is a tier 4 tank, there was no way that he could end up with Radley Walters anyway. Even if he did get another kill, it would have been impossible, but 7 kills wins the game. Let's have a look at the team scores. 1,607 hit points of damage. The only player who was near him in damage was that Panzer B2, which actually managed to get 1,209 hit points of damage, and these were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 hit points of damage overall. When it came to kills, again he's got the highest number, 7, and it was actually the Panzerkampfwagen 38T NA, which is basically an updated version of the Light Viz 38 Czech tank that was modified by the Germans, and he managed to get 4 kills. And after that it was the Panzer 38 TNA on his own team with 3 kills, and their Sturmpanzer got 3, and so did their B2, also got 3. When it came to the base XP, he got the highest one overall. Nobody else got over 1,000 base XP. He got 1,144 in that game. And, well, the next highest scorer was the Panzer B2 with 692. And after that, one of his own team, the Panzer B2 on his own team, 579. He fired 36 rounds, got 32 direct hits and 24 penetrations. Damage of 1,607 hit points of damage, all of it at close range. He received 3 hits from the enemy. In fact, I think both of them, actually all of them, came from that Panzer B2. 2 of which were penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and 52 hit points of damage blocked by armour. He spotted 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 7 of the enemy, and also managed to get 21 defence points in the cap. On a premium count, he earned 24,255 credits, got 13,534 from the holiday ops, but he did fire a fair amount of APCR during that game, and yes, he did have consumables as well, so he actually made a loss for the game of 4,496 credits. But he won the game anyway, so I don't think you'll worry about that at all. He got 1,144 XP, times 2 for the first victory, took away 3,432 altogether. But what a great game in not so great a tank. It's got fairly good armour in terms of it's up armoured on the front, but it's nowhere near as good as the Panzerkampfwagen 3 Ausf K, which of course Wargaming were putting in the loot boxes at Christmas. That's a much better tank with a much better gun. It does more damage than this one does. But of course, yeah, it was a good game for Bounce-A-Lot, and he did use the terrain to suit his tank. He actually hid in the bushes so that the Panzer B2 had difficulty knowing where he was, and he was kind of hulled down, so he actually maximised his position in that case, and then he went up the hill to make sure that he was hulled down when the other tanks came to the cap. And, well, great game. Well done, Bounce-A-Lot. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. We're only a small channel, but we do have some rather good videos. So these are ordinary schmoes having a great day. So do tune in and you'll see something good. Thanks for watching.